So I'm Charlotte Eisner. I've been in the field of e-mobility since 2013. Not so many years, it may seem, but it's also a very young business. So I'm among the older ones, I would say. I've been working globally in Asia, in Japan, in the United States, in UK, but primarily in the Nordic countries. And being a representative for the Nordic countries is really great these days because there are so many things going on the clean tech scene. I have two different roles. One is being head of board of directors for sustainable transportation within a testbed called Electricity, based in Stockholm, where we have this kind of collaboration that you described from the Gothenburg side with the companies like Ericsson, Intel, and also Volvo, Scania, and Hertz. We dwell upon how to build a sustainable city with all the opportunities that we have with off-grid solutions, on-grid solutions, electric cars, different fuels, but also sun cells and energy storage solutions. My other role is now as the marketing and sales director for DEFA. And DEFA is a Norwegian company. It's been around since the 1940s, supplying the fossil fuel automotive industry with electric car heaters and so on. But a few years back, DEFA realized that the world is changing. And so we entered the e-mobility scene and is now one of the bigger actors actually in the northern part of Europe, with more than 45,000 charging stations operating, especially in the Nordic countries, and some 120,000 paying customers using our cloud solution. So we have a lot of connected clients already and practical experience from running charging solutions, both in cities and in private homes. This is the challenge. This is what we are working with. A Nobel Prize winner many years ago said this: there is no plan B, there is no planet B. And then again, some of you heard Leonardo DiCaprio use his 5 minutes of fame at the Oscar gala, not speaking about the movie that he had made, but about the planet and the climate. And we are in a hurry, so we need your energy. And to me, it's really fantastic to be here to meet you all today and try to inspire you to get started and to develop the techniques that we need to save this planet. And now the topic is on cities and solutions for cities. No, what happened? I thought I was gonna skip a slide. And then, okay. So that's where we're going. All right. Again, we're back to the future, so to speak. This is a Darwinistic time we're living in. The industry is changing, and again, we're facing the challenge of survival. Automotive industry, cities, fuel suppliers, as we know them. We need to find the way to act and to get ahead. And with our line of business, it's all about knowledge. I would say the one that collects the most of the big data and knows how to analyze it will be the winner. When it comes to cars, to properties, and to companies overall. So we should all make sure to be connected and to really dig deep down into the data that we're collecting. And this is why it's so important to have both automotive and charging solutions be connected. I tried to push the right button now. See what happened? Yeah. The future of the car, we heard a little bit about it before. Most people think we're going to go autonomous with not having to drive the cars ourselves. The focus I will have today is we need to look upon the car as a part of the energy system, because this is really energy storage, mobile energy storage that we can transfer from one place to another. And to tell you a little story, I know that both in Japan and in the United States, the development of electric cars had a lot to do with the possibility or the need to transfer energy very quickly and easily from one place to another. In Japan, with the threat of earthquakes or tsunamis, in San Francisco, the same threat. What happens if something hits San Francisco or Los Angeles area? We need a fast way to move energy and to start up cities and factories somewhere else. So the need of evacuating energy was something that really fascinated the automotive industry, even though nobody acted on it really with great importance the first many years. Lately, it's been one of the more important factors. And a guy called Elon Musk that you all know of, he mounted the expression, you better evolve or evacuate the planet. And you know all about his SpaceX mission. Of course, that will not be for everyone. But he said, I will do everything I can to save this planet by supplying solar cells, power walls, and Teslas. But if I don't succeed, I will make sure to evacuate to a different planet. In his case, of course, Mars. So this is something I would like you to remember. Evolve, because we don't want to evacuate. We want to stay on this planet, right? Future of fuel is the future of charging electric vehicles. And this is so closely linked to the development of cars or EVs. The wise property owner will welcome the electric car into his facility. So this is one slide that I will dwell upon for a while, because these will sum up some of the trends and buzzwords that I would like to discuss with you today. This is a villa, a private home, but this could also be a larger facility, an apartment building, a factory, or a company building. What we see as part of the future is using off-grid sources to complete the energy system within the house. We'd like to see the vehicles being parked not necessarily in the streets. We would like to invite the cars into the buildings. And if it's an apartment building or a company building, this will be a place where we also share parking places. So if I'm a food store, I probably have my own clients or customers visiting me during daytime. But during nighttime, if I have charging facilities installed, this will be a possibility for me to both use the electric vehicle some hours as part of a peak shaving energy source. I won't need to pay probably the maximum amount of money to the grid to get my the power that I need, but I can actually use some of the power that is brought in with the EVs. And then other hours, I will earn money from charging the cars. So using the space, part of sharing economy, will be very important. The villa situation, of course, you can connect your charger and you could go with one of the different sharing sites called Plug-it or Airbnb services for electric cars and so on and so forth. So when you're at home, you charge your car and you drive for like 150 Swedish crowns per 10 kilometers, very cheap. And if you're not there, you can offer this parking place to someone else and have an income brought from the charging solution. We think that the future will be more towards DC charging also in facilities, because this is really the leanest model. The sun cells go with DC current, the cars do that as well. And we have some really fantastic companies dwelling upon links between sun cells and EVs for effect allocation and power allocation within buildings. Ferroamp is one of those companies that was brought up in Sweden from an environment like yours, I would say. These are words that you recognize: vehicle to home and vehicle to grid solutions. Of course, no one is interested in paying too much tax. More and more of the electric vehicles will probably be charged with off-grid sources, but we need to remember that we do need the grid. This cannot be a development that makes us cut off the connection to the grid entirely, because then we will go backwards with our society. I will end this session by just stating that the future, in my sense, is electric. I know about biofuels, I know about fuel cells, but the cities will be built on a slow cooking model with off-grid and on-grid electric charging. The vehicles will be used moving energy from house to house, and it will be a sharing model also when it comes to energy, not only to mobility and traveling. And will we be able to supply the whole city with charging solutions? Yes, we will. Because we know now that there is no need for more than, say, maybe 8 to 9 ampere on one phase to supply a car. The car will be standing still probably 95% of the time. Not for the fleets, not the autonomous cars. They would need faster DC charging. But the privately owned car actually drives for, say, 30 to 50 kilometers per day on average. It's not much. And then it stands still. And it can work for us. It can bring in energy, and there will be plenty of time to charge it. And we know also that 1 hour charging time on very slow pace will give you somewhere between 15 and 20 kilometers of driving distance. So very little is needed to take you very far. And the last thing I would like to say to you is please jump up on this wall and take the role as Jeanne d'Arcs of e-mobility and sustainable development. We need to remember that you're all twinkling little stars. And you know that song, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And one thing that I learned, since you're educated and in this field, is you need to grow the market a little bit like a farmer. We need to do good prep work. We need solid solutions. And when it comes to charging, it's about dealing with the DC leakage to build a safe system. And you need to be a little bit like the song, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, by doing this sometimes, a lot of this, and sometimes this. So stay true to your vision, but don't accept it all. Ask a lot of questions to those who think they know something, right? Thank you so much.